All right, how does this look? This is actually my first time trying the mist filters in the studio. If you guys have seen my previous two videos on my channel, I actually shot those all outside with these filters, but I've been liking using mist because it just softens everything up. And of course, it's kind of hard to tell the difference unless I put it side by side. So here's a shot with the mist filter on. And let me know what you guys think as far as using it in the studio. I really like using it outside because when I use it outside on my past couple of videos, I was shooting at noon, 1 o'clock, and the sun was right above me, super harsh. Mist filter kind of softens everything up, but here's a little side by side. Let me know what you guys think of the shots with the mist filter and without the mist filter. All right, well, either way, let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Which one do you guys like a little bit better? Or can you even tell the difference between the mist filter and the not mist filter, or no filter, as far as studio setting goes? Freewell Gear sent me this new one right here, which is their magnetic variable ND set. Now here I'm using the Tamron 17-28 2.8 on this camera. I'm actually using the Tamron 28-75. Now these lenses use the 67 mil, so I just got the 67 mil from them, but they have all of the standard rings, as well as you can also use step up rings if you wanted to get a larger one and then just have it stepped up or stepped down to fit your lens. And if you guys are new to my channel, my name is Aldrin Estacio. I do a lot of drone tech tips, tutorials, and product reviews right here on this channel. So if that's something that interests you, please consider subscribing and also hitting that bell to be notified when I post new videos. And for those that are familiar with my channel, you guys know I do a lot of ND filter reviews, but mostly for drones. And I actually do have variable ND filters for my drones as well. Make sure you guys check out those links down below. But I've been loving ND or variable ND filters every time I go out and shoot with my mirrorless cameras. Now this is the latest one from Freewell Gear, and this is what we're gonna talk a little bit more about today. It comes with this full setup here, a really nice clamshell carrying case. It comes with the mounting system. So I have a 67, all you have to do is mount this on, and this is what's gonna hold all of your filters into this mount right here. So you just screw that on. And as far as a base goes, you can either not have anything on it. You can either put something like a variable ND one stop, place that right there, just match up the logo and just drops right in. So now you have a one stop filter, but of course, if you want to add on there, you have this one right here, a 2 to 5 stop. And all you do is magnetically put that on just like that. And there you go. You actually do have 2 to 5, and they do have hard stops. So if you twist it, it will stop on one end and then stop all the way at the other end. And we also have the 6 to 9. Just plop that on just like so. And then you can have a 6 to 9. But what's really cool about these filters is that not only do you have the variable ND, which is on one side, you actually have the option to use the circular polarizer filter on the other side. Now you can have a circular polarizer. So if you are shooting anything that has a lot of reflection, shooting against glass, and you want to be able to pull a lot of that reflection out of it so you can see your subject, whether it's inside or outside, that's when you normally use something like a circular polarizer. Or if you wanted to cut some of that reflection down in the water, definitely what you're gonna want to use is something like this, a CPL. Now, if you're wondering how do you cover this thing all, well, this is it right here, a magnetic cover. And what they recommend doing is taking the filter off and dropping this little magnetic cover on it. It has a little transparent Freewell on the front, which is really cool. And all you do, of course, if you want to travel with it, just pop that on just like that. Now your lens is protected. Then depending on which one you want to use, throw on. I know I'm of course use a 2 to 5. This is probably the one I'm always using on here. Now I've been actually using ND filters for a while now, and actually been using a lot of the variable NDs from not only Freewell Gear. This is one of their last generation ones, which is still really, really good. This is their regular variable ND, and this one just screws directly onto your camera. But I also use the Polar Pro one. This is the Peter McKinnon one, which is really high quality as well. And then this one I really like too is the Moment one. I actually really like this one because you can grab the edges of it. Comes out a little bit wider and you can actually grab and spin this around. So I think they're not necessarily I think best or better solution, because they all have a little bit different functionality while doing very similar things. And Freewell Gear is normally known to have high quality filters that sit in that middle range price Nothing too expensive, but also not on the lower kind of generic end. Freewell normally sits right in the middle, makes it very affordable for those that want to use filters, but also don't want to break the bank and break your budget if you wanted to get into dialing down your exposure very precisely. And for those that aren't familiar with ND filters, they're really ways for you to cut the amount of light that's coming into your camera. And high quality filters normally won't give you too much of a color cast or basically change the color of your footage. Ideally, it's just made to cut out a certain amount of light. Now, why would you want to cut the amount of light coming into your camera? Well, sometimes if you want to shoot wide open, this is the 2.8 lens, but if I were to shoot 2.8 outdoors where it's very bright and I wanted to have some sort of depth of field, if I were to shoot wide open and even have my ISO really low at 100, 200, I'm still gonna have a very overexposed image unless I crank that shutter speed up to 1/1000th of a second, 1/2000th of a second. And for most people, it's gonna be fine. Cranking up the shutter speed, a lot of people really won't even notice it too much. But if you really wanna dial it back down and have a little bit more natural motion blur in your video, you're gonna normally wanna have your shutter speed dialed down a lot more. So if you are shooting like I am, so if I'm shooting at 4K 30, I'm gonna want my shutter speed around that 1/60th of a second, or if I'm shooting at 120, 4K 120, I'm gonna want my shutter speed around that 1/250th of a second. One of the reasons why you might wanna use an ND filter is that if you wanna bring a little bit more focus to your subject, which is me, right now everything's in focus, but I'm at an f/16, which means the aperture is really tiny, so everything is more than likely gonna be in focus if I'm that high or that small of an aperture. Now, if I wanna put a little bit more focus on myself and maybe knock out or blur out, get some nice bokeh of that background so I can have a lot more focus on me, I'm gonna want to bring my aperture, widen up my aperture to something like a 2.8. Now, of course, the problem with doing that is that you're gonna let in a ton of light, which means you're gonna overexpose your image. Now, that's the reason why you have things like this. The ND, this is a variable ND. This is a 2 to 5 stop. So if I switch this out, let me actually switch this back, and everything, like I said, is all in focus. I do have the mist on here right now, so it does seem a little bit softer because of the fact I'm also in harsh light. Let me actually take off the mist just so you can see the difference. So this is with the mist and this is without the mist. So let me put that side by side, little mist filter right here, which really softens up the image. And this is also at an f/16, so you should see everything in focus. But what I want to do now is bring a lot more attention to me, the subject, and that's when I'm going to introduce this right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dial back my f-stop from 16. Let's go to 2.8. Super overexposed. Drop this right on top there. Let it sit, and then I can adjust this right now, and then there you go. I can see, and same thing, I'll put this side by side, so now you can see, if I zoom this back in, this gives me a little bit more depth of field here. The mountains, this little hills right here are a little bit more blurred out, more focus is on me, the subject. So this is at f/2.8, and I'll put this side by side with the f/16 shot. I really like it because it kind of covers a little bit of everything. And if you guys made it this far into the video, huge shout out again to Freewell Gear for sending me this early unit to test out. And I've been using these for the past few weeks now. So if you guys have seen my past few videos and you guys saw something a little bit different in there, it's because of these right here, these variable NDs, as well as that mist filter. I've been using them a lot while I'm outside. It just gives that nice creamy, soft look to your video. And Freewell Gear was nice enough to hook it up, one of these sets, for one lucky viewer. And as you guys know, giveaways on my channel are pretty straightforward, so thanks to Freewell Gear for hooking up one of my viewers with this full set. All you have to do, of course, is like this video. Make sure you guys are subscribed to my channel. Also, make sure you guys are following us on Instagram. This is my Instagram right here. And especially make sure you guys are following Freewell Gear's Instagram right there. And also tag me on their Instagram page, letting them know that you came from my channel. And make sure you guys tag it on one of the photos or videos that they're posting about this filter right here. Finally, in the comment section down below, let me know what you guys are shooting with. Are you shooting with a mirrorless? What lens are you shooting with? What is that filter thread size? Make sure you guys leave me those 3 pieces of information in the comment section. What camera you're shooting with, what lens, and what's your filter thread size. That way, if you are randomly picked within the first 72 hours of this video going live, I'm gonna randomly pick someone from the comment section. So if you do get chosen, I'll know which filter size to get over to you. And that's about all I have for today. Of course, if you guys got some value from this video, a big like would be much appreciated. Also, don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos. Of course, if you want to check out more details about these filters, the links will be down below in the video description. This is also Saucio with FlytPath.com. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.